recording.
All right.
Are we ready?
All right, we're back.
Hey, for another episode of QUAH. Bring on the question.
Let's go, Taylor.
So this is a scenario.
It's a scenario.
What's the scenario?
41-year-old woman, married, 3 kids, very active in their teens, first time attempting to get back into shape. What do you recommend for her?
Okay, so 41-year-old, got kids, is not working out, right? So she's getting into fitness. Start with correctional exercise. That's your best bet. And what I mean by that is learn, if you can afford a trainer, get one, at least initially, so they can correct imbalances and create favorable recruitment patterns. If you can't afford a trainer, get yourself good and comfortable at doing body weight squats, at doing overhead presses with really light weight, at being able to pull your shoulder blades back, and at being able to activate your core. Sometimes it can take as long as a few weeks to be able to do that before you progress to your regular workouts.
I'm also going to tell this lady, because if you're 41 years old, you have 3 kids, you haven't been active, you're just getting back in shape, one of the hardest things to break through with this person, or at least in my experience, is your last probably 20 years of your life, you've been serving others. You've been serving your husband, you've been serving your kids, you got the house, you got a job, you got bills, you have all these things that you're putting on a higher priority list than yourself. And if you're gonna make this change for yourself, at one point, you have got to become a priority. And if you don't become a priority, you're really not even serving those others. And you'll find out once you start to prioritize yourself, then you're gonna see all those other aspects.
Well, that's a great point. I mean, because that's one of the first things. It's like you take on 3 kids, they're your whole world. And that becomes an issue, because it is, like you said, like it's something that you need to take care of yourself in order to do a better job at having the right amount of energy, being able to function and be an example, and also taking care of your own health. So that's definitely a priority. And to be able to get back in, it has to be a nice slow process of just moving and reconnecting to your body. So whatever that looks like, even just going on hikes and walks, and then kind of transitioning back into the gym, if that's a setting that you're comfortable with, that's going to be ideal. But definitely the push-pull movements, reconnecting the core, as Sal mentioned, those are all very important aspects. But definitely take your time with it. Don't feel like this crazy amount of pressure that it's all or nothing.
No, don't you guys feel like that's normally like an objection that I get with someone?
Oh yeah, you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't give to others what you don't have to give. So definitely take care of yourself, but start really slow. Like, your goal is not to go to the gym and beat yourself up and get super sore. That's not how you start. Look, you haven't been working out for a while. Any amount of activity is going to get your body to change. It's really easy to overdo it when you first get started. So literally 2 days a week in the gym, light, full range of motion exercises, feeling things moving, practicing your squats and your push-ups, practicing your sit-ups or your crunches, practicing rowing. Just think of it as movement and practice. Don't think of it as a workout just yet. Get yourself used to moving with resistance. It's super easy to overdo it. I see this all the time. People start off in the gym and they're like, okay, finally making time for myself. I want to get to this point by tomorrow. The fastest way to get there is to beat myself up in the gym. Nothing could be further from the truth. Your body is adapting to the signals that you're sending it. You have not been active. It doesn't take a lot to get your body to start.
I'm also addressing sleep and stress with this person too, because if you got all that stuff on your plate and you're deciding you're going to go work out right now, but then your sleep is still suffering, those type of things will actually benefit you and your workouts even more so. So putting things into practice to help you calm down at night, relax, go to sleep, doing things that we distress. We talked earlier in one of these episodes talking about yoga. So sometimes, your journey to get back in shape always doesn't have to reflect this running on a treadmill or hammering the weights.
No, almost never actually when you first get started. And sleep routine, great point, Adam. Here's a great sleep routine that I recommend to all my clients. It's actually relatively easy. 1 hour before you want to be in bed, asleep, turn off all electronics. Now, studies have shown that when you're exposed to too much light or electronic light, your brain perceives that as sunlight, and you reduce quality of sleep while you are asleep. So 1 hour before bed, turn off all electronics and dim the lights in your house. Even better would be to go by candlelight. I know that's not super convenient for most people. If you can do it though, it's awesome. And here's the best part. You got 3 kids. I swear to God, if you do it an hour before their bedtime, they wind down easier too. I do this with my kids all the time. I turn the lights off, go by candlelight about an hour before I want them to go to bed, and it's like they go right to bed, nice and easy. It's not this abrupt switch, turn off the TV, go to bed type of thing.
Oh yeah, and just like sleep in general, resetting your hormones. There's just so many benefits to sleep that we found as trainers that we just overlooked, and now like coming back and revisiting simple things like that you can do that is a focus of yours, especially if it's like fat loss or if it's just getting back into building muscle again. Like sleep plays such a crucial role in that, and then obviously nutrition and movement is a second and a third to that. But
Excellent.
As far as addressing programming, I think too, with someone 41 years old, 3 kids, just getting back into working out, this client typically is afraid of squats, afraid of lifting heavy compound type movements. Don't be afraid of those things. Search out whether you have to hire a personal trainer or do your own homework.
It's worth the investment, I'll tell you that much. But I'll say this, I'll give you general guidelines. It's very difficult to do here because obviously we're talking to potentially millions of people, hopefully, with this particular video. But I'll give you general guidelines, and then I'll give you more specific ones, or at least where you can find more specific information that's going to cost you a lot less than hiring a personal trainer. So here's your general guidelines. Get good at squatting. Get good at pushing something, so a bench press. Get good at rowing. It could be a cable row or a dumbbell row or a barbell row, but probably start with a cable row. And get good at pressing overhead. And then finally, practice a form of a crunch just to get it connected to your midsection. Really, if you do those 5 exercises and you start to get good at them, you'll start to see good results. Now, for the more specific type of programming, we have a program called MAPS Prime. I'll make sure we put a link in the notes here. You can click on it, take a look. Prime is much more individualized. There are tests on there you can take that'll point you in the right direction of what correctional type workouts you can do. In Prime, we call them fortification workouts. So once you take the test, very simple, there's 3 movements you do. It'll point you in the right direction. You do the fortification workouts. There's videos where we teach you how to do them. And that should take you a lot further. Not quite as good as having a good personal trainer right next to you, but it's a lot less expensive, a lot more affordable, and it's convenient. So check this out. Share this with your mom friends, people who need to make time for themselves. There's a lot of them out there. And also subscribe to this channel. We post new videos all the time. And finally, if you want to ask us a question that we answer on an episode like this one, the place to do it is in the comments.